Hello, Jiu-Jitsu fans all over the world. We are back on another show that we have here in conjunction with the Abu Dhabi World Professional Jiu-Jitsu Championship. Today is a special day. We're going to have the Para Jiu-Jitsu Championships. And with us today, we have three guests. Of course, last year was a historic year in the UAE JJF with the first Para Jiu-Jitsu Championship to be held around the world. And we have three of our guests, some of them actually coming back after last year. We have from Canada, Stacey Duchscherer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ronald Mann from the United States. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we have Rob Long from England. Welcome to the show.
Cheers.
We don't have a lot of time with you guys because you guys are about to get on the mats, so it's more exciting than having an interview with me. Let's start with a quick intro on each of you guys so we can learn who Stacey Duchscherer is, who Ronald Mann is, and who Rob Long is. Let's start with the man from Canada, Stacey Duchscherer.
Hey, how are you? I started jiu-jitsu 5 years ago, followed in my son's footsteps rather than the other way around, which is usually the case.
Yeah.
Thought I'd better learn to protect myself before he wants the keys to the car. So, yeah, I started 5 years ago. We came last year. It was an absolutely incredible experience, and I'm thrilled to be back this year, so really happy.
What about you, Ronald?
My name is Ronald Mann, and I was in the Army on the Taekwondo team. When I got off active duty, I lost my leg in a motorcycle accident, so I went back into martial arts for recovery. And I didn't have any jiu-jitsu at that time. I did MMA. I was the first amputee to fight kickboxing, the first amputee to fight Sanshao, and I won an MMA title against able-bodied people. I retired, and then I started finding the jiu-jitsu path. And for me, it's just become a lifestyle, man. It saved my life.
Amen.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I was in the British Army, and I was injured in Afghanistan in 2010. I found jiu-jitsu just over a year ago now. I did martial arts for about 4 years before that, and yeah, it's completely changed my life. It's an amazing lifestyle.
Stacey, we'll go back to you. Ronald had an accident, and this is why he has a limb deficiency. Is that what it's called?
Amputation.
Yeah, amputation. What about, were you born this way, or did you have an accident too?
I lost my leg 20...
In a factory, I remember you mentioned something about a factory.
It was construction. A crane had lifted the outrigger up off of my steel-toed boot, and the steel toe collapsed, and it severed my toes and flattened out the foot. So after a short period of time, the blood flow wasn't working, so it was amputated below my knee. So it was a workplace accident.
Workplace. And what about you, Rob? Was it in Afghanistan?
Yeah, Afghanistan, July the 8th, 2010, while I was on patrol. An IED was triggered, which resulted in me losing my left eye straight away on the battlefield. And then when I got back to the UK, my right eye had to be removed. So I'm wearing 2 prosthetic glass eyes at the moment, and I'm completely black blind. So I can't see anything. No shadows, no lights, no nothing.
This is inspirational. The reason I asked this question, whether you were born with this, this is probably the last time I'm going to use the word disability, but and I'll tell you for a reason. The reason why I asked if it was a workplace accident or you were born like that is because that means you guys, in the UAE, I don't know if you've heard, but we've changed the name of special needs, or we don't call people with special needs or disabilities disabled anymore. There is a new word that's called people of determination. Officially, legally, that's the word here. I don't know if you've heard from the news, but we call them the people of determination. And the reason this law came about is it is a way to empower the people with special needs or disabilities. So the reason why the government did that is to change the way people think about people with disabilities.
Right. Stop the stigma.
And hopefully, you know, people learn from your experiences. And this is why you guys are here, because for far too long, we've seen people shy away from people with disabilities, but we want that to change.
There's an uncomfortable.
You guys are inspirational. I mean, what you guys are doing here on the mats, your lives, it's amazing. So tell us more about, you know, how did you find jiu-jitsu? How did jiu-jitsu help you in your, you know, in your strive to become what you want to become in the sport or in life, Stacey?
Well, for me, I didn't like doing things that made me realize, you know, that I couldn't do them because of my leg. I stared away from doing things like that. I didn't like feeling disabled, the word. I found jiu-jitsu and I started taking it in blocks. If I could get through 2 minutes on the mat, it was a success for me. I was really happy. After 5 years, it's changed my life. It's given me, I'm no longer disabled in my belly is my disability. My leg, I don't consider it a disability anymore. There's so many things that a guy can do differently than what an able-bodied person can do on the mat, that it's a different game for us. It really is. We're not restricted so much as we change things. And it's taken the whole stigma of disability away from me. I no longer fear things that I used to fear because of my leg. Now I look forward to it. It's like a challenge, and my son calls it a video game. So yeah, jiu-jitsu's changed things for me in more ways than I'm even aware of right now. I just keep finding things that make life so much better. And with jiu-jitsu comes the people, comes the lifestyle, and you get a lot of confidence with the sport. And you hold your head high. You know, I'm proud of who I am today.
Ronald, do you see jiu-jitsu as the perfect martial art for people with limb deficiencies, impaired muscle power, or any other?
I see it as the perfect lifestyle. It's more than just a martial art for me. When I was in fighting MMA, I trained and studied different martial arts, but this is all encompassing from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And, you know, because jiu-jitsu, para-jiu-jitsu, you go on the mat without any prosthetics or assistive devices. You don't need a running leg. You don't need an adaptive kayak. Just go out there and train. Just go out there and roll. And then you have the jiu-jitsu family with you. And that's what's changed my life. Like, it's amazing, and I've accomplished more in the last 2 years of my life through jiu-jitsu, through life itself, through the family I have around me, than I did in 5 years before. It's completely revolutionized who I am, and I'm proud to be a practitioner today.
And with Rob,
yeah.
Rob, I mean, with the visually impaired, there were a bunch of videos I saw, especially one with Ricardo Liborio's daughter, Bella, her name is. Ricardo Liborio, who is one of the greatest coaches of all time in any martial art, said that this is the perfect sport for the visually impaired because it involves a lot of touching, grappling in general, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Apart from how adaptive it is for the visually impaired, it does something else. Where I'm completely black blind and I can't see anything, a lot of my life is spent, you know, avoiding obstacles and slowly maneuvering around. But once I get on that mat, you know, there's no obstacles apart from the person and the job I've got to do while I'm on that mat, and I don't feel blind. I forget I'm blind. I'm back to being Rob. I'm back to being the guy I was before I lost my sight, and there's nothing I can't do on that mat that, you know, a sighted competitor can do. Or, you know, it's an even playing field. What it comes down to on the mat is your skill level, and, you know, that's what it means to be, you know, a functioning member of society again, and, you know, have that sort of self-esteem boost and do what you've trained to do.
That's great. Let's continue with you and talk about how were you contacted by the UAE JJF? First of all, did you compete last year?
No, I didn't. This is
your first year.
This is my first time competing in anything adaptive. So with a lot of the para-jiu-jitsu athletes, we're quite spread out all over the world, and a lot of us train and compete against able-bodied and, you know, sighted competitors. That's where we train, and that's, you know, there's not enough of us in like local areas to all get together because we're so spread out. So we cut our teeth, you know, competing in the able-bodied competitions. But the great thing about this is, you know, we all do that there. But the great thing about para-jiu-jitsu is it brings us all together, and these are the guys who go through the daily struggle. Like, we wake up, and I'm still blind every day, you know. We have to reach to the depths of who we are to make it through, and jiu-jitsu helps with that. But there's not a place I'd rather be in this competition than that para-jiu-jitsu mat today, you know, going and competing against the guys who have this struggle in their daily life. You know, when we walk off that mat, we're still disabled, but we've achieved so much.
And that's a very important thing that everyone has noticed recently, especially since last year.
Yeah.
The teamwork and camaraderie between all of you guys. I've seen Ronald. Let's talk to you about that. We've seen you guys compete in almost all the Grand Slams in Rio, in LA. I think I've seen you in LA.
Yes.
And there's like a group teamwork atmosphere between you guys. You guys, like, you know, travel together, maybe sometimes meet up together. Tell us about that, you know, that feeling of having everyone come together for that.
That's the family part of this that just blows me away. I've never seen this in any other sport. My competitors in other sports are my competitors. They're my enemy. Here, it's my family. You know, when we walk on the mat, I'm there to fight. That's it. We slap hands, bump knuckles, and then we go at each other. But when I come off, I hug that man. I go have dinner with him. When we're in LA, all the American competitors stayed in the same location, the same Airbnb. We were cooking for each other, taking care of each other. That's amazing, man. Like, no matter where we're at, we can call each other around the globe now. If we have a question, a guy who has autism, maybe his son needs some help, he can call Japan or he can call Australia. Or, you know, we're coming together like this, being allowed to come here and become one family. That's really pushing the sport of para-jiu-jitsu.
And with you, Stacey, in terms of this event, the para-jiu-jitsu, how important is it to you? Would you rather still compete with, you know, able people in normal competitions, or you know, having a para-jiu-jitsu specific event is also important?
Oh, it's huge. Like Rob was saying, I mean, we're so spread out that we don't have the opportunity. In our local areas, we're lucky if there's one other competitor, and they usually aren't in the same category as you are. But, you know, you both share that same struggle every day, and you get onto the mat, the struggle's gone, and you get to share that with each other. And caring about one another, like Ronald said, we're all family. Win or lose, I don't win, my opponent wins. And because I love my opponent so much, I'm super proud and super happy for my opponent. There's no loss there for either challenged person on the mat. So for me, I would rather do para-jiu-jitsu for sure. I mean, there's a camaraderie that we share that you can't get anywhere else. Even when we train, you know, you're lucky to have two people in the same gym that are, you know, struggling with some things, and you can help each other and work each other. It's usually one guy in the gym with all these able-bodied, and you don't want them to take it easy, so you get smashed sometimes. It makes you really appreciate the people that you're with. And like Ronald said, I mean, we are all family, so it's a beautiful thing to come together on this mat as para-jiu-jitsu athletes.
And Ronald, how does the UAE JJF help you guys with coordination, organization of, you know, para-jiu-jitsu events outside of the UAE, for instance?
Yes.
In general, how have you seen the past year or even two, because it started even more than a year ago?
Yes.
How do you see the UAE JJF's and Abu Dhabi's influence on para-jiu-jitsu?
The first time that we had the Para Grand Slam here, or the Worlds here, I was called by El Surle Silva, and out of the blue, and I had heard a little bit about it, but I mean, it was completely organized. We were treated as professional athletes. Instead of just kind of making our way through the darkness and hoping we can get a fight, we were brought over here with a purpose. And when I went back to America, I was asked by El Surle to form a team for the LA Grand Slam. That was the first time we'd have para events in LA in each Grand Slam. And we were able to get 10 guys to go. El Surle helped guide me the entire time. And this is directly under the UAE. They are our founders, our benefactors. And we're very fortunate they're with us. You know, we're going to spread out. We're showing everybody. The UAE is giving us the platform to stand on, but we will show everybody that we're equal.
And Rob, this is your first time here.
Yeah.
Was there any communication between the UAE JJF and yourself in any other event out there, or is it the first time you get involved in anything like this?
Well, it doesn't stop here. So El Surle's been in contact with me and all the other para-athletes, and it's a movement. It's a movement that's starting here, and we're all networking together. Yeah, he's contacted me. I'm going to take my experiences here, go back to the UK, and try and form a platform there. You know, get some more para-athletes, and hopefully we'll come back next year bigger and stronger every single year, and carry on making this event something really, really special.
What are your dreams when it comes to jiu-jitsu? Where do you want to reach, Rob?
I want to be the best. I want to be the best, no matter what. Not just in para jiu-jitsu. I want to be, you know, the best I can be, and I'll compete wherever the competition is, and whoever wants to sort of compete against me, as it were. I know it's a long process and a long road, and I'm still in the early days of it, but that's the beauty of jiu-jitsu, you know. Like I said, the family isn't just the para-jiu-jitsu family, it's the jiu-jitsu family. And my able-bodied brothers, you know, help me and compete against me and make me stronger every single day that I train. And I'm going to take this as far as I can. You know, I'm going to push it to the limit every single day and see how far I can get with this journey.
Same question to you, Ronald.
You know, I mean, we talk about different calibers of para events, and it will continue to spread. There's no bad way to give this back to the people. For me, though, this is a lifestyle. It really is. Like, it's pervasive through everything I do. And when we talk about the competition, of course, that's the highest way that I can express my jiu-jitsu. Like, it's there for everybody to see, right in your face. I have no leg and I'm out there fighting able-bodied and para fighters. It doesn't matter whether I win or lose. As long as I give my absolute best, that's jiu-jitsu to me. And everything in life, that's what it's taught me.
And Stacey.
What was the question? These two stories.
Great stories. Where do you want to reach with jiu-jitsu? Is it just for, I don't know, fitness for you, or is it more than that?
I'm happy right where I am. I get on the mat, I get to escape every day. And like Ronald said, we don't have to bring our limbs onto the mat. We come on empty. So for me, I'm right where I want to be. Tomorrow, it'll be another day, and I'll be right in that day, and I'm going to be really happy with that day. But for me, this has given me everything that I could ask for already. I couldn't possibly ask for any more. Win or lose on the mat, it's the people that we get to share this with. It's made my journey 10 times better. And not just the para athletes, but every athlete that does jiu-jitsu. You meet a guy in a hallway and you guys are sharing a jiu-jitsu shirt and you're instantly best friends. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are. It's hey, jiu-jitsu shirt, oh my goodness, hey, I'm so happy to see you. So for me, I'm right where I'm at.
And we're going to wrap up soon because I know you guys have to compete in a little bit. Final two questions. For people, I mean, what advice would you give to the youth who have similar situations as yourself? People who are hesitant to get on the mats. What's your message to them?
Everybody is hesitant to get on the mat, I think, right away. It's a stressful thing. And for the youth, close your eyes and get on the mat, and you're going to find a beautiful world. It's going to give you self-confidence. You're going to meet some incredible people. And with children, we all love to teach. It's something that we have, and it will change their lives far better. You know, they may have perfect lives already, but it will give them some self-confidence that it's empowering. It's incredible. Just get on the mat. Come check it out. If there was anybody in my area, I would drive, pick them up. I would bring them to the gym because I know that it will change their lives. I'm 100% confident of that. So,
Ronald, any advice you would give to?
You know, I've never seen anybody come into my academy and have a bad experience. It's like you're talking about confidence. Jiu-jitsu builds confidence. It gives you strength. And because when you're on the mat and you're fighting, even if you're just flow rolling with each other, you have to process under adversity constantly. And that gives you the confidence to go do that in the real world. And, you know, this is where you build your family. This is where you build your inner strength. There's no other martial art that I would recommend to anybody. Immediately, jiu-jitsu. Rob,
what about you?
Well, these guys have summed up pretty much what jiu-jitsu is and what it means. And every single journey starts with a single step. You know, if you think this is something that would be for you and you would gain out of this, take that first step. Go down to your local BJJ gym, and you know it will change your life. It's changed my life. It's changed so many lives of everyone I've talked to. You know, take that step and get yourself in, get yourself to become part of the family.
Okay, we're almost at the end, so I'll leave any last messages you would like to deliver to anyone, family, members, organizers. I'll leave that to you. Let's start with Rob.
I'd just like to say a massive thank you to all my instructors and the guys of the British Army BJJ team. Everyone who's rolled with me, you know, has helped me get to this step. Every single person I've ever rolled with, whether it's for 2 minutes or, you know, days, you've got me here, and I'd like to say a massive thank you. You know.
Thank you, Ronald?
You know, of course, I have to thank my family. There's one in particular, Jan Stakoza. He was the first one to believe that I could be a fighter and built the prosthetics for me to do that. But, you know, now my Yamasaki family, it's truly amazing. I've trained martial arts for the last 23 years and never found a family like this before. I truly consider them my brothers and sisters.
Stacey?
I would like to thank the UAE for bringing us all here. Without this, we wouldn't have this opportunity to get together, and for me to meet Rob and Ronald, I mean, we're nowhere near that. I'd also like to thank my professor, Ryan McGilvery. He's done a lot, as well as family, and everybody on the mat.
Thank you, guys. I honestly wish you the best on the mats. I know you guys are going to have fun. At the end of the day, it's called the Abu Dhabi World Jiu-Jitsu Festival. And there's a reason for that. It's first and foremost, you guys are inspirational, and it's always the highlight of the Abu Dhabi World Professional Jiu-Jitsu Championship to have you guys here. Since last year, I think one of the major highlights was having you guys here, and we hope to have you even here for every single event going forward, hopefully.
I share that.
I'll be there.
Yeah. We have reached the end of our show today. Make sure to watch the World or Abu Dhabi World Jiu-Jitsu Festival, and of course it's one of the, as I said, one of the major highlights of the Abu Dhabi World Professional Jiu-Jitsu Championship. Thank you for watching as always, and goodbye.